students, I hope you all are doing well. So in the previous video, I have explained you the introductory part of the chapter structure of atom. So let's begin with the chapter. I guess all of you are aware of the atomic theory of matter that was first proposed by John Dalton. जॉन डाल्टन ने की जो डाल्टन्स एटॉमिक थ्योरी थी ये आपने क्लास 9th में पढ़ी है. तो Dalton's atomic theory was able to explain the law of conservation of mass, law of constant composition and law of multiple proportion very successfully. However, it failed to explain the results of many experiments. So in this unit, we start with the experimental observations made by scientists towards the end of 19th and beginning of 20th century. इन सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट्स की वजह से these established that atoms are made up of subatomic particles, that is electrons, protons and neutrons, that was very very different from that of the concept of Dalton. So first we'll start with the discovery of electron. Okay, so in 1830 Michael Faraday showed that if electricity is passed through a solution of an electrolyte, अगर electrolyte के solution से electricity pass करेंगे तो electrodes पे कुछ chemical reactions होंगे. Because of that chemical reactions, deposition of matter at the electrodes will happen. तो इन सब को use करते हुए he formulated certain laws which you will study in class 12th. So in 1850s, many scientists, mainly Faraday, began to study about the electrical discharge in partially evacuated tubes. In partially evacuated tubes को cathode ray discharge tubes कहा गया, that is depicted in the figure. Now, आप क्या देख रहे हो इसमें? A cathode ray tube is made up of glass containing two thin pieces of metal called electrodes. The electrical discharge through the gases could be observed only at very low pressure and with very high voltage. कोई भी इलेक्ट्रिकल डिस्चार्ज कैसे कब ऑब्जर्व होगा? जब गैसेस बहुत ही लो प्रेशर पे होंगे और वोल्टेज जो है वो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का वो बहुत ही हाई होगा. द प्रेशर ऑफ डिफरेंट गैसेस could be adjusted by evacuation of the glass tubes. So होता क्या है इसमें? When sufficiently high voltage is applied across the electrodes, current start flowing through a stream of particles moving in the tube from the negative electrode, that is cathode, to the positive electrode, that is anode. So these were the cathode rays और cathode ray particles. इनको cathode rays क्यों कहा गया? Because they are originating from the negative electrode and they are moving towards the positive electrode, that is anode, right? So the flow of current from cathode to anode was further checked by making a hole in the anode. मतलब anode को क्या कर दिया गया? Perforated and coating the tube behind the anode with phosphorescent material, zinc sulfide. Phosphorescent material means कि जब उस पे कोई rays पड़े तो it will glow. When these rays after passing through anode strike the zinc sulfide coating, a bright spot is developed on the coating. तो this was the cathode ray discharge tube experiment. So इसके result को हम summarize कर सकते हैं कि पहला what was the first observation? The cathode rays start from the cathode and move towards the anode. Okay, now these rays themselves are not visible, ये खुद visible नहीं थे, but their behavior can be observed with the help of certain kind of material. यहाँ पे हमने क्या यूज़ किया? फ्लोरेसेंट और फॉस्फोरेसेंट मटीरियल जो जिंक सल्फाइड हमने यूज़ किया था, उसकी वजह से दे आर विजिबल. टेलीविज़न पिक्चर ट्यूब्स आपको कभी आपने देखा होगा टीवी घर का ख़राब होता है तो कहते हैं कि इसका पिक्चर ट्यूब ख़राब हो गया. तो पिक्चर ट्यूब क्या है? दे आर एक्चुअली द कैथोड रे ट्यूब्स एंड द टेलीविज़न पिक्चर्स, जो टेलीविज़न पे पिक्चर्स आते हैं, दे आर द रिजल्ट ड्यू टू द फ्लोरेसेंस ऑन द टेलीविज़न स्क्रीन कोटेड विद द फ्लोरेसेंट और फॉस्फोरेसेंट मटीरियल्स. सो what was the third observation of this experiment? That In the presence of electrical or magnetic field, the behavior of cathode rays are similar to that expected from the negatively charged particles. Okay, suggesting that cathode rays consist of negatively charged particles called electrode. ठीक है, इससे हमें पता चल गया कि कैथोड रेज में नेगेटिवली चार्ज पार्टिकल्स हैं जिनको क्या कहा गया, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. नाउ द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ कैथोड रेज, जो कैथोड रेज की जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है, इट डू नॉट डिपेंड अपॉन द मटेरियल ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोड. आपने इलेक्ट्रोड का मटेरियल क्या लिया है, एंड द नेचर ऑफ द गैस प्रेजेंट इन द कैथोड रे ट्यूब. कैथोड रे ट्यूब में कौन सी गैस प्रेजेंट है और इलेक्ट्रोड का नेचर कैसा है, इस चीज़ पे कैथोड रेज या फिर इलेक्ट्रॉन के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक डिपेंड नहीं करते हैं. Thus we can conclude that electrons are the basic constituents of all the atoms. So this is how the electrons were discovered. Okay, so in the next video we'll talk more about electron, charge to mass ratio of electron, charge in the electron. Till then, stay safe and stay at home. Thank you so much.